Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 3 now in a series between TSL's Hyun versus Empire's Kaz. Game 3 taking place here on Belshire Beach Winter Edition. TSL's Hyun spawning as the red Zerg on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Empire's Kaz spawning as the green Terran on the bottom right hand side of the map. Now, hopefully the audio issues are a little bit better. Still give me feedback, and all of you guys out there, I know if you guys can't hear me, or the game sounds are a little bit too high, too low, or if my volume is too high or too low, that does detract, and I want to give you guys the best viewing experience possible. Now, we'll see if TSL Hyun will be able to really do anything in this particular game. So far, he's fallen behind 2-0 in this series, and he has a lot of ground to make up if he wants to take this series, or even just make this a true series, as Kaz has been simply dominating. So far, the name of the game has been over-evaluating your position. If you guys remember earlier in game, I believe 1, TSL Hyun actually started dancing with his Zerglings, thinking that he was doing the devastating blow and he was going to come out as the victor on top. Kaz quickly just stopped that celebration as Hyun realized that he overplayed his hand and was not overplayed his hand. He just celebrated prematurely and found out that his army was not large enough. Drones are now making their way in, and we'll see if any scouting will be done. It looks like Kaz will be going in for that 1 Rax expand. Meanwhile, hatchery being placed down at the 15 mark by Hyun. Drone, will it be able to get inside, is going to be the key question there, as the supply depot does come up just in time. Will he be able to perhaps take down this SCV though, as Kaz now should be able to finish this barracks, but this SCV trapped in a very, very bad location, down to 10 hit points, 5 hit points, does try to run away, unable to mineral path out, and now Hyun, dealing the first blow, will be able to escape, as he does not want to fall behind economically speaking. Currently, he is in the lead, I believe, sitting on 16 drones versus 14 SCVs. We are building up the second command center by Kaz, but the 1 Rax expand has been scouted out by the overlord of Hyun. So Hyun now knows that he has a pretty much license to drone and should be able to drone up very heavily. Kaz looks like he's going to be playing the tech route off of this 1 Rax expand, setting up 2 refineries at a time. Normally this does transition into Reactor Hellion into Banshee play. We'll see how much damage Kaz can do with those Hellions, as that is really going to limit how much Hyun will be able to drone. So far, Hyun pretty much nearing saturation on this main base. Only 24 drones in order to saturate this base here. You can see it's currently sitting at about, I believe, 17 or 16 drones here. And with 16 drones, a pretty decent saturation, 2 drones per mineral patch. Back over here, Kaz is getting up and harvesting a lot of gas, and we'll see if this gas really pays off. You can see that the factory is already being placed down. We need to add on a reactor, and add on a reactor quickly. It looks as though the factory will finish off quite some time before the reactor is ready, as the barracks is going to be lifting off and landing there. The factory already more than halfway done. There's going to be a 20-second difference between the reactor completing and the factory completing. So far, Hyun is going in for that double queen build at each hatchery, so that really means that the Hellions are going to have a much more difficult time trying to get any drone kills. On top of that, a starport training Banshees will not be able to get that many kills either. You can see that the barracks is about 10 seconds away from being completed there. The factory is ready to take its place and start double training Hellions. Meanwhile, Hyun is currently supply blocked at 44 over 44 and was training up a lot of drones at a time. You can see extractors are being placed down here, and this is a way to free up supply and then be able to just train up more drones behind it. A little bit curious as to why extractors are not being placed at the main base just quite yet, but this is the perfect 16 drones, 2 drones per mineral patch. Third base is now already being established. Hyun once again supply block, getting in 6 more drones, and this is a bad situation for Kaz. If you take a look at the harvester count, it is 38 to 29 with 9 more drones being trained. Even if Kaz gets off, say, 10 drone kills in the next 15 or in the next 5 minutes, he's still going to be behind by about 5 drones, and the third base is already going to be established, as these Hellions cannot deal enough damage to really take down a hatchery. A new command center coming in from Kaz, so perhaps Kaz will be able to run up on 3 bases of his own. Looks like he's going to be taking this expansion here, perhaps with a planetary fortress, as he is expanding towards his opponent. A 16 drone difference between these two, as we now are going into 1 Cloaked Banshee's Banelings, and the third hatchery has been completed. The drones now, Hellions now coming in, and it looks as though 1 creep tumor or 2 creep tumors were taken down there. 1 creep tumor does survive, as the Hellions try to torch a hatchery. Not going to be able to do very much at all. Banshee now looking to come in. Hellions are in position. Queens are just trying to dance in between the second and the third, as drones are now being transferred. Oh, the Hellions may be able to catch this, and this could be a very bad drone barbecue. Wow. Yes, it is. 9 drones pretty much instantaneously killed in just a matter of seconds. But Hyun still has a 13 drone advantage. So this is one of those instances where Kaz killing 9 drones doesn't even equal up anything at all. We can see that there is a lot more gas by Kaz, but Kaz is not really spending it. He is going into siege tanks with siege tech, and he needs to push out with these siege tanks in a hurry. He does have a significant tech advantage, but if he is not careful, Hyung's and his superior economy may be able to get in a lot of damage. Drones once again coming back, or Hellions coming back for more drone barbecue. And yes, the Hellions are going to get even more kills there. Now up to 15 drone kills, as the Hellions are going to get taken down. We are now at 85 versus 71 supply, but 18 more drones once again being trained. We are going to be at 70 drones versus 46 SCVs, a 25 drone difference, as a Banshee gets cleared up. Banshee pilot escape at the wheel, not realizing that he cannot take on, or she cannot take on, that many queens at once. Kaz is deciding to upgrade to an orbital command and establish his third here. And this is going to be a problem for Kaz. Kaz thinks that he has a significant advantage. He has 15 worker kills, but he is still down by 25 harvesters. This has really been a macro game coming in from Hyun. We can see that a Spore Crawler is down, and Kaz is in a position where he thinks that he can just sit back and relax and let his economy do the work. Little does he know that his economy is actually behind, and the longer he waits, the larger of an army he is going to have to deal with, as it looks like Hyun now doing a tech switch into a Spire. Zerglings now looking to take down this one SCV. No SCV survives with 1 hit point. Armor for the win, as we are going into a drop here. Kaz, however, pretty much may have revealed this one medevac, as the medevac going to try to drop up on the high ground. The Zerglings already getting in position. Queen's now coming back over, getting in some easy shots on the medevac. Marines doing a little bit of a dance back and forth, looking to perhaps take down this hatchery. It doesn't look like it will fall, though, as 2 Marines are pretty much left behind, or 1 Marine left behind to get finished up. Hyun is still running on 4 bases. This expansion could be taken here on the top right, and then it would pretty much be a north versus south battle. Zerglings with 1-1 upgrades. Meanwhile, Kaz now going into 2-2 upgrades with level 1 weapons upgrade on vehicles. Siege tanks will be able to one-shot. We are going into an infestation pit, and now also going into 10 Mulists. So a 3-base Zerg running off of 6 extractors can pretty much build anything it wants to out of the Zerg arsenal, and it looks like it is going to be Mutalists, Banelings, and Infestors, a very gas-intensive army. And I'm curious if Hyun can really support it. Even if he takes these 2 additional extractors, he's only going to be harvesting about 900 gas a minute. And 900 gas a minute while also getting upgrades. He's perhaps going to be training about 5 to 10 supply, or sorry, 6 to 10 supply per minute. And that is going to be rather slow, but Hyun does have the advantage, now seen at 150 over 162. Kaz still behind by about, I believe, 6 supply, as we are going to see a small group of Marines now try to do a push forward here. Zerglings be able to catch and surround all of these Marines. Yes, quickly going to get taken down as the medevac gets shot down by Mutalists here. 1 lone Marine, not realizing that a lot of Zerglings you do not want to go up against. But Kaz now is getting up those siege tanks. He is getting combat shield, and he is ready to move out, but he's going to be fighting on creep. and that means that his push will be significantly slower. Zerglings and Mutalisks perhaps pushing in over here at the natural expansion. The Zerglings could just simply run up the ramp here, as it looks as though, yes, the Marines and the siege tanks are going to be backing off and retreating all the way back home. Down over here, Marines still dancing back and forth, and it looks like we should have pathogen glands, infestors, and banelings is going to be the counter to all of these Marines. Infestors need to be added as we are going into hive tech. Pneumatized carapace also being added for the overlords. No ventral sacks that I see. Nope, no ventral sacks, so there's not going to be any baneling carpet bombing, as the siege tanks now looking to clear out a whole bunch of creep tumors. Creep tumors falling individually. Siege tanks are going to siege up here as the Marines look to see if there is a fifth base here. No, but in comes the Zerglings as the Mutalisks now coming in. It looks as though the Banelings will simply be able to just run inside the base here, taking down one missile turret, and now in comes a Thor. Banelings are just simply sitting there. Oh, the Banelings should not be attacking against that many units. The Banelings now crashing down and going to be taking down a couple of Marines. Zerglings should be able to surround and take down the Thor here, as it is becoming a base race. Kaz attempting to take down this hatchery. The hatchery does fall, and who is going to come out on top? Hyun does have a slight supply advantage, 134 over 108. All of these Marines, Banelings now catching all of the Marines out of position there, and Kaz now very far behind by 50 supply. Zerglings and Mutalisks still running rabid inside the Terran base. Any units that pop out will pretty much get instantaneously destroyed by the number of Zerglings and Mutalisks on the field. And now this attack has been cleaned up. Kaz loses game 3 in this series. And I'm sure Kaz, after the end of this game, studied the replay, studied the build, and realized that even though he did deal a lot of damage early on economically, it wasn't enough. And because of that, Hyun was able to macro up more. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 3. Stay tuned for game 4.